Hi, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with SWMEB Team. And if you've reached this video, then you're on the last leg of the hop. Or you may have gotten this video and not watched the other ones on the hop. If you've not watched the other videos of the ladies that are in the hop, then all their links will be below. Go watch those. Leave your comments. Every person that is in the Let's Play YouTube hop is giving away a prize, but you have to be a subscriber to their YouTube, leave a comment, and like their video in order to be eligible to win. All of the information is going to be below. I'm not going to take up a lot of time trying to explain all that because they only give me 10 minutes, and you know, I'm Southern. I can't even call my kids in 10 minutes. So anyway, we're going to go on and try to get this video done. But like I said, all the information will be below. All you have to do is read that. If you have any questions, my email will be down there too. Just give me an email and I will explain everything. But after you've watched all the videos, then you need to go to the blog. That link is below as well, and follow the information that is there. Now, I was supposed to do I had volunteered to do a little bit of stamping and just give a little bit of information on stamping on my video, and I'm not going to give a lot because there is tons of wonderful videos out there that explain so much better on how to stamp and stamping well, much better than me. But I am going to give you just a few tidbits and just show you a few things that I like to do. First off, you always need to make sure that your ink pads are very well juiced or very well inked up. If you have an ink pad that, let's see if I can find one of my older ones that may be a little drying. Yeah, here's one. If you have an ink pad that is, let's see if I can get, there we go, that is looking a little bit light colored on the edge down in there, right there, then you need to re-ink the ink pad. Because if you don't have a juicy ink pad to start off with, then you're not going to get a good impression. So you can use any type ink pads you want. There is Versamark, Stays On, Tim's Distress Ink, Pigment Inks, Archival Inks, you name it, they're out there. There's lots of differences in all of these ink pads, all of these inks. That information is out there as well. If I went into that, it would take me a lot longer than 10 minutes. All you have to do is just type in the search on if you want to know about Versamark or Archival or Distress, whatever, and it'll give you all that information. But what we're going to do right now is just do a little simple stamping. Now what I do is I either put my paper on just a little piece, and this is kind of like a foam pad. I either put it on this or I just lay it on a paper pad. Just something that gives it a little bit of cushion underneath, because if you try to stamp directly on this, sometimes your desk is not exactly level. This may be, you know, mine's not level because it's got all kinds of cuts and everything in it. You need something to put under it that just gives you that little bit of cush. You can use a mouse pad, an old mouse pad, whatever. That will work perfectly. Now, another thing to make sure of to get a really good impression is always make sure that your stamps have a deep impression on them. Now this is a distress. This is one of Tim Holtz's distress stamps. So it doesn't have a real deep impression, but you can see it's a good impression. It's a good ink. It's got a lot of cush to it. I do not mount my stamps. Even if they need to be mounted, I don't mount them. I just stick them to here. You know, I've got this one. I use tons. It doesn't have any cushion under it. I just put a little foam dots on the back and stick it to there. It works fine. Or not foam dots, but just tape. But you know, if you buy the little dollar store stamps, and I've got some of those, I've got some little dollar store stamps, and they work okay. They're just not that great. But if you buy one and you see that it's not stamping exactly right, if there's some things that are, you know, some pieces that are not stamping on it, take an emery board and just scuff it up just a little bit that takes that gloss, I'm going to say, or whatever that they seal them over with, that takes a little bit of that off so that it'll grab that ink. Just take it, rough it up a little bit, wipe it off, and then put your ink to it, and it should do fine. Even the dollar store ones. I buy some of those too, so they work great. Alright, this is the Tim Holtz September, the newest color other than the October one that just came out today. This is his Distress ink, Wilted Violet. And I do not edit videos, so what you see is what you get, guys. Sorry about that. Alright, and I always, if it's a big stamp, I take my ink pad to my stamp. Okay? And I just kind of give it a little twist, push, tap, and just make sure that everything looks like it's inked up pretty good. Okay, I always recap my ink pads just to make sure. Stamp straight down and then hold it for a little while. You've got to give time for the ink to transfer onto your paper. If you just stamp and pull up real quick, it doesn't give that ink time to transfer over onto your paper. So I hold it for a little bit. Hopefully we will get a good impression. And then lift straight up, and there you go. Isn't that pretty? It stamps beautifully. Now I take just a baby wipe. I have a Stamp It Up cleaner that I could clean this with, rub it on, but I just take a baby wipe and wipe it off, and then I take my paper towel and just clean it up from there, and that's it. Okay? Alright, now you've seen how good of an impression I got with that. Let's just take all the stuff out from under it and see what we get. And we may still get a good impression. I don't know. You know, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the stamp itself, how deep the impressions are. See, I'm probably already at 10 minutes, and I'm not even started yet. Okay, we're going to stamp straight down. We're going to hold it. And lift straight up. Well, it still did pretty good. This is just a good stamp. So, but a lot of times when you have the just writing like this, the Merry Christmas, sometimes you'll miss something on there. But, you know, it's just easier for me to put a little cush under there. I get a better impression, and I don't have to press quite so hard on my stamp. So, but that is just a little tidbit there. Okay, now I want to show you, we got a new ink in. I say new, it's new to us. It's the Ranger Pigment Ink Pad in the Glacier White. Now, these have the little cap, the little plastic cap on them. Don't take this off and throw it away, and don't glue it to the top like some people suggest. This is on here for a reason. It's on here to keep your ink pad secure, and to where it doesn't dry out so easily. So leave that on there until you get ready to use it. And then, let me go this way. Now this one's very juicy, so it's not going to take very much, but this is a little stamp too. So put your top right back on there. You want that to stay juicy. And then stamp straight down. And I used a big stamp block, but maybe this will work. If it doesn't, we'll use a smaller one. Sometimes when you use a big one like this and you're on the end, you'll rock it and you don't mean to. Okay, straight up. Yeah, that's pretty good. You see how pretty that stamps, that white on the black? Isn't that pretty? And that is the Glacier White from Ranger. And it is a pigment ink. There again, if you want to know all the details about pigment ink, you can research that. Lots of information out there on it. Now I'm going to show you, let's do the little guy here. This is an archival ink. This ink does not bleed. It's acid free. It's a permanent waterproof, so if you hit this stamp with water after you stamped it with this, the ink would not bleed. It's going to be there. Okay. And where's my pad? I threw my pad over there, didn't I? I lost it. There it is. Okay. And now you say, oh no, your ink is probably already dried up. It probably has dried some, but in order to refresh your ink on here, all you have to do is breathe on it. And it'll liven it right back up. Okay, there you go. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. He is a cutie pie. Okay, so that again is the archival ink. Now Versamark ink, Versamark is like a watermark. All you're going to get when you put Versamark on is, let's see if we can put, let's just do this Merry Christmas with this Versamark on this black. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we'll try it. But it's just a watermark. It doesn't really show until you put some embossing powder or something like that on there, and then it will really show up. Okay, so you can see, there you go, you can see it. But that, if I sprinkle some embossing powder over that now and then heated it with my heating tool, then you would really see how that would glow. That's what your Versamark is. And I think we've gone over most all of them. The Stays On is just basically the same thing as your archival ink. Again, your Stays On has the pad on the top. Do not throw that away. Do not glue it to the top in there. It's meant to help protect your ink pad and keep it juicy. I've had mine forever and they're still juicy. Stays On has a little smell to it. You'll notice that when you use it. But stronger smell than the others does. Whoops, see? What I did was my little pad was only under part of it. So that shows you a mistake right there. I didn't make sure my pad was moved over. So that's what it did. But that shows you that the pad does work if you keep it moved where it's supposed to be. Now I'm not going to do a lot more because I know all you guys know how to stamp and you know about inks. And don't worry about cleaning up your Stays On really good if it stains your stamps, because that helps protect your stamps. It helps keep your stamps moist. This has a little bit of an oil in it, so it helps protect your stamps, keep them from drying out. Now you can stamp with just about anything. It doesn't have to be an ink pad. It can be a marker. It can be the Pitt pens. It can be oh my gosh, what are these? It can be Copics, it can be watercolor markers, just about anything you can use to stamp with. You can even stamp with paint, but if you stamp with paint, make sure you clean your stamps up as soon as you finish stamping. You don't want that paint to dry on there. Okay? Let's see. Okay. Oh, you can also use gelatos. You can use gelatos to color up the backs of your, like if you wanted to make this a different color, just use your gelatos in different colors and put on there and then stamp it down. And you have all your colors already on there. So you can stamp gelatos, just about anything that you can think of, you can stamp with. So don't limit yourself just to ink pads. If you say, oh, all I have is an ink pad, that, you know, don't limit yourself to that. Try whatever. I try it all. Try whatever you want. Put it on there. Okay, this is the spray from the Tim Holtz. And I just wanted to show you how pretty this color is. And again, this is the September. Depending on how heavy or how light you spray it. And you see the blue tint that it's turning before it dries purple? That's what I think is so pretty. But when it dries completely, it will be a beautiful, beautiful purple. I love this. Use this with your stencils, you know, whatever. Or spray it on like this. It's very, very pretty. Okay, like I said, they didn't give me but 10 minutes and I know I'm way over that already. So I am going to go. Read all the comments below. Come on over to the blog and end the blog hop. And we will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, leave your comments. Oh, I wanted to tell you what I'm giving away. I need to do that, don't I? I'm giving away a set of the September Tim Holtz Distress Inks and all of their goodies. The stains, the marker, and the spray stain. I'm giving this away to one lucky winner here. All you got to do is leave comments, like, and you have to be a subscriber. Talk to you guys later. Bye.